I am not gay, and I also didn't go to school, so maybe Bryce Mitchell is onto something. Hello, and welcome to the Sports Bimbo Podcast. I'm Stella Kae, and I am in the studio completely alone today. Just me. Sorry, you guys. We are going through some big life changes at Sports Bimbo right now, but I'll be back next week with a Bimbo co-host to banter with. We're moving some things around. We'll figure it out, and I will explain more once I know more what's going on. But for today, it's just me, and I hope that you will love and accept me. Back to being gay for going to school. Fellas, is it gay to go to school? So Bryce Mitchell, the UFC fighter, the featherweight, he has a newborn baby, and he is viral in the news right now for saying that he plans to never send his son to school because in school makes you gay. I am, in fact, not gay, and I also really did not attend school. We won't get too much into that, but a little lacking in the school department. So if I had gone fully to all the public school I was supposed to, would I be gay right now? We'll never know. I'm not sure exactly what his theory is, but let's just explore it. I took this to Twitter, or X, sorry, Elon, and I posed a question, fellas, is it gay to go to school? And a lot of people across all sorts of walks of life, you know, Democrat, Republican, whatever the anti-woke thing is, people are saying, yeah, it is gay. School is gay. It makes gay. It's gay to go to school. It seems like the people agree with Bryce Mitchell. Is it one of the craziest things that I've ever heard? So shocking. Yeah, that's why it's viral. But is he right? So apparently there are really long lists of things that make you gay or are considered gay these days. I think that is so hilarious, those trends on the internet of what is considered gay or effeminate, or like what makes you gay. Apparently men can't do anything, like breathing air I think makes you gay. Putting shoes on in general makes you gay. Being outside on Mother's Day, driving fast in a Hyundai Sonata. And just to reiterate, I am reading from a list on the internet of things that are considered gay or things that make you gay as a man. Not knowing how to grill, drinking Smirnoff Apple, taking note of shit women can't do, coloring in a coloring book, getting your nipples licked. I don't agree with that one. I'm not saying I agree with these other ones, but what are they there for? Just decoration? I had an argument with a guy about this. Taking dick pics while sitting on the toilet. That's just like, please don't ever do that. Anyone, gay or straight. Ew. Like, who wants to see your dick thinking about like that you were recently or at some point in your life taking a doo-doo? Clapping when the plane lands. I would agree that is very gay. But there's nothing wrong with being gay. But if you do that, if you clap when the plane lands, you are a homosexual. Referring to yourself as a bad bitch, okay. Shooting pool, in parentheses, playing billiards, okay. I don't know. I don't see how that one is possible. Singing Dangerously in Love by Beyonce. Being from Washington, D.C. Having a small appetite. Being in a section at a club with more than 2 guys. And then now most recently added to this list because of Bryce Mitchell, which is like rule number 1041, is getting an education. Classified under things that make you gay. Okay. So what I want to know is, did Bryce Mitchell go to school? Is he gay? Did it make him gay? How does he explain that? I don't really know the story on his formal education. Let me look it up. Let's see. Why is he so worried about this? Did he have to struggle with almost being gay because of school? Did school make him gay? And had to work to reverse it because he doesn't believe in that? I'm curious. These are the important questions that keep me up at night as a person. Okay, Bryce Mitchell. Let's see if we can find out. Okay, personal life. Bryce Mitchell, you educated bitch. Bryce Mitchell has a degree in economics from Harding University. Wow. All right. I wish I could have Bryce Mitchell on the podcast to explain to me his education and how he was able to reverse his gayness that the education caused him. That is very interesting. So how does that work exactly? And here is a quote from Bryce Mitchell. I believe, allegedly. I think I saw it on Reddit, so it might need to be fact checked. But apparently he said homeschool or homo school. It's your choice. Okay. And if for some reason you don't know who Bryce Mitchell is, he is a UFC fighter from Texarkana, Arkansas, who also goes by the name Thug Nasty. And apparently he fancies himself as a rapper. I have heard him spit some bars on a podcast on the Twins, those twin guys out of Twins that have a podcast. He went on there and rapped. I personally wouldn't say that it was good, but apparently he has a mixtape out. And he's a cattle farmer also. That part I think is lit. I'm here for the cattle farmer. I don't know about the rap, but he has a mixtape. Maybe we should listen to it. But as far as being a fighter, he is ranked number 12 in his division. He's a featherweight. I think he's a good fighter. He could be better. He's Ultimate Fighter alumni. His record is 16-3-0. He's a southpaw, and he has mostly submission wins. He's a really good grappler, not a lot of knockouts. 50% of his wins were by submission, so he's really good if he goes to the ground. If he's fighting someone with like a lot of knockouts, a lot of knockout power, not so much. So Bryce Mitchell, I think he's a solid fighter. I like to watch him fight depending on who he's fighting, but I do think he has a lot of potential. The reason I wanted to discuss Bryce Mitchell on the podcast today is because, like people that we've discussed in the past, like Ryan Garcia, et cetera, I love the wackadoodles of fight world. So I love all the lore. He is as conspiracy theory as it gets. He is probably the number one conspiracy theorist in the UFC. He makes Sean Strickland look tame. So I just kind of want to go over some of the things that he has said, aside from going to school makes you gay. That might be no, I was going to say that might be the craziest one, but low key, that one might be just like the tip of the iceberg. I got to think about it. I'm going to read some of these and we'll decide. I got to drink my water, sorry. Use code Stella Kae 10 for 10% off at prozis.com. Number one on the Bryce Mitchell lore that needs to be discussed is that he is a flat earther. I don't know how he came to that conclusion, but he's very passionate about it, and he's very angry at Joe Rogan about it.
Hey, I'm here to call out Joe Rogan for talking crap about me and talking crap about my mama. He's been doing it for too long. Me and my mama will tell you right now this earth is flat. It ain't moving around at no 600-something thousand miles an hour, spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and floating through the universe constantly. Okay, this earth is flat, it's fixed, and the stars and stuff rotate around us. The sun rotates around us. Okay, and I can prove that. I would love to debate you, Joe Rogan, because I'm tired of you making fun of flat earthers.
That is a real person. That is a real person speaking with conviction. Like, you can't make this up. It doesn't seem like a real person. It seems like a character or like a gimmick. Like, he is dead ass, and I love it. I don't have to agree with someone to love it. Hey, that is entertaining. And don't talk about my mama. I'm obsessed. Joe Rogan, what are you waiting for? If I was Joe Rogan, I would have him on today. I want to hear him prove it. He says he can prove it. I, for one, would love to hear it. Bryce Mitchell is also a hardcore Christian. Nothing wrong with that. But the way he found his path, he said, to Christ, to being like the Christian that he is now, is because he had sex with a witch. He says that he had sex with a witch and that she became fully demon possessed, and that he prays for her every night. So he had to start praying for this witch that the demons would leave her body, and that was what led him to Christ, I believe. Bryce Mitchell, sex with a witch. I would love to know how he came to date a witch. Like, was he cool with that? Like, was he on board with that? I wish I could talk to him. I did slide in his DMs. I don't think I know for a fact he is not aware that I exist. And if somehow he saw me in that dick pic section of Instagram, you know what it is. I call it the dick pic section because that's what's going on in mine. In those filtered requests from like people you don't follow, just random shit. It's like mine is filled with like OnlyFans managers, which I don't even do OnlyFans. And they're all like, let me manage your OnlyFans. I'm like, I don't even do that. And And yeah, like weird guys. But so I'm in that like weird guys, dick pics, and OnlyFans manager section of Bryce Mitchell's DMs. Like, you know, I'll beg anyone to come on this podcast. I've never had a guest, and I would so bad. Yeah, I did say like, no, hey, I would love to hear your opinions. I'm very open-minded, you know. I would love to hear about it, have a discussion. I'm not here to prove anyone right or wrong. I just like to listen and laugh. But he did not respond, and honestly, I doubt he ever will. I think if he looked at my page, because I DM from my personal page, which has a greater chance of being responded to just because I'm verified and I have a decent amount of followers, and you know, probably there's people that he knows who follow me that I've met along the way in my career. But if he were to look at my page, I think based on his morals and his views, I don't think he would respond to me. I got a lot of thirst traps on there. I think he's very anti-Semitic, unfortunately. I'm the worst. I just accept everyone. I'm like, oh, you hate all my people and wish that we die. No, but I do believe that he's anti-Semitic, like a well-intentioned anti-Semitic. Oh, is that possible? But I do believe he's anti-Semitic. So if you look at my page, you can see that I do have a tattoo of a Star of David. I'm also Mexican and like the daughter of undocumented immigrants. I'm very vocal about that. I'm public about that. It's like not a secret. I don't have a problem with that. And I post a lot of thirst traps, so he probably would think I was like a slut, which I'm not a slut. I'm actually, if you know me or get to know me or even follow me, listen to me talk, hear about my values and my beliefs, I'm actually very wholesome. But I don't have a problem with showing my body on the internet and profiting off of that. That is something that I do and I like and I enjoy to do. Makes my life a lot easier, and I truly enjoy the perception of being hot. I work hard for it, so why not? But yeah, just at first glance, I think someone with his beliefs, I don't think he's as open-minded as I am. For me, I can listen to someone and see someone that has all these beliefs that I believe are outlandish, and I'm not upset. I'm not triggered. That's where I'm at in my life. It wasn't always that way though. But I don't know that someone like him would look at my page and see like, oh, Jewish Mexican girl who shows pictures of her ass, you know, I'm willing to talk to her. He probably thinks that my page probably seems witchy too. So he would probably be triggered. He would probably think I'm a demon possessed Jewish immigrant witch whore of Babylon. But I'd be down to be his friend. I don't think he'd be down to be my friend. So he probably will not be coming on this podcast. But you never know, because I am friends with Sean Strickland, so anything's possible. Whoa, he's got a song called Darkensaw. He is from Arkansas, as I mentioned earlier. I think Texarkana, if I'm even saying that right. Yes, it says he was born in Texarkana, Arkansas, but I think he lives in somewhere called Cabot, Arkansas. I don't know what any of that means. I have been to Arkansas, actually, several times for work when I worked in wrestling. But the thing is, when you are on the road with wrestling, unless you go out of your way and make an effort, a lot of the experiences that you have, I've literally been to every state in this entire country at least once, sometimes 2-3 times, except for Alaska. But unless you really make the effort while you're on the road, a lot of your experience is just going to be hotel, rental car, arena, airport, those types of things. So I didn't really, when I was in some of these like middle America type of places, I didn't go out of my way to like really have experiences, you know, and you're just like, especially with WWE, after you finish a show, you have to drive to the next city. You don't, in AEW, we just flew everywhere, fly. But there you would have to drive. So we would have like 6-hour drives after working 12 hours. So you know, I didn't see a lot of things except for gas stations. So I don't really know the vibes of Arkansas, but I'm learning a lot about it lately. I'll explain more about that later, but let's listen to Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell, Darkensaw audio. This is from 2021. What if it's sick, guys? And let me just explain the outfit to you. All real tree camo, which I fuck with very heavily, and I'm feeling this beat. What if it goes so crazy and I just got to put it on my Spotify playlist and bump this heavily? All right, we hear the beat. When are you going to come in with the bars, Bryce?
Yeah, I'm from Arkansas, fuck through the Arkansas light at the end of the tunnel. My energy's funnel, my enemies talking, they chuckle. I don't give a fuck, ain't no need to rebuttal.
I'm not going to play the whole thing because for legal reasons if I can. I take it back. That I'm not even lying. That goes crazy. That was sick. Bryce Mitchell. All right. I'll give it to you. You are a good rapper. Darkansas, what? That goes fucking nuts. I'm sending that to someone right now. I fuck with that. See how fun it is to be open-minded? I'd be having a great ass time. I will for sure be listening to that when I get home. No lie. No cap. No rap cap. The problem with getting to know people or getting to know about them, this is always my problem. This is how I end up great friends with all the like world's most problematic people. But when you do and you find out what makes people tick and how interesting they are, you really start to humanize them. I was talking shit about Bryce Mitchell the other day because of the gay going to school. Just to put it out there, I don't agree. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I kind of proved his points earlier, but for the record, I'm not homophobic at all. I do identify, I've said it before, I do identify as being heterosexual, which is very rare these days, I feel like, for women. Almost every girl I know is bisexual. I do believe that sexuality is a spectrum. It's like really full gay, full straight, and then there's bisexuals, and then there's people all in between. I would say like on the straight side, I'm like really close to like, like I can see that girls are hot and stuff like that, but I love men. Despite all that, I think I love everyone. I think everyone should love who they love. I want, rights for everyone, all that kind of stuff. So while I can laugh at some of this stuff, I'm not homophobic. I don't think there's anything wrong with being gay. I accept it. If I really dig deep into that point, by his own standards, because he's much more educated than I am, he should be fully gay. So I don't know about that. I think if you want to homeschool your kid, that's fine, but I have no idea what that has to do with sexuality. I feel like because I have zero moral problems with homosexuality. So if I could be gay and it would make my life easier or better in some way, I would choose that. So that's how I know it's not a choice. There have been times I wish, like, dear God, please, like, I've had such a hard time dating, especially in Los Angeles. And I'm like, dear God, please let me wake up tomorrow and be a lesbian. There's so many beautiful, talented women out here in this world that would probably be willing to pay attention to me and like think of me and buy me flowers. But it never happens. I wake up every day and I love men. So for me, I don't think it's a choice. I don't think it came from school. If he has different beliefs, I respect that. I don't think everyone has to believe the same. I don't know that that's a valid reason to keep your kid out of school. It'd be very interesting to see how his kid turns out with him as his sole teacher. That also just sounds like a lot of work, Let the people that's their job. They need those jobs. They don't pay very well, Put them in private school. I don't know. Do whatever you want, Bryce Mitchell, but I don't know that I agree. It's kind of funny. It's kind of crazy, but when I was making fun of it at first with a friend, he said, this is a quote from my friend Jake. I thought it was really funny. It's not very kind. He said, if you put Bryce Mitchell's brain in a bird, it would bark. Bryce Mitchell also believes that gravity is not real. I can't even wrap my mind around that one. How is it not real?
You want to tell me you don't believe in God because there's no evidence? Give me the proof of gravity. You know why things drop to the ground? Because of density, brother. Oh yeah, you drop something and it falls down. Well, that's real cute. What if you do it with the helium balloon?
So what do we think about that? Is gravity real? He said something so unbelievably racist on that Conservative Twins podcast that I was in shock that like someone would come out in public and like even say these things, even if they had even thought 10% of it for 1 second. Like I was so like, I don't know that world of talking that crazy or even thinking that crazy. But the scary thing about it is that he was being so racist, so blatantly, like unabashedly, unashamed, fully racist with like no concern for repercussions or like how anyone else would view it or consider it. But by the time he like got to his point, this is weird. I'm sure there's like, you could probably find like a scientific comparison to what this was, but he was so racist that by the time he got to his point, it was so racist that it wasn't. It was so racist that it like almost made sense. It was crazy. I was like, this is wild. This is crazy. I'm not going to say what it is because I have vowed that I didn't want this to be a political podcast. There's a lot of that in MMA. a lot of really like strange political beliefs and people fighting. I really just want to be here for the joke, so I don't want to get too into exactly what it was. It was pretty crazy. I recently found out, actually I just found this out last night, and I wasn't even researching about Bryce Mitchell. I was looking up about Arkansas for other reasons. But I found out that Arkansas is the home of the hillbilly. 1 second. I just burped on the podcast. I'm so sorry. Like, this is a good time for me to plug my drink sponsor. Shout out to Numa, my daily wellness soda. That just made me burp on the podcast. I'm drinking the fruit punch. It's zero junk with bubbly benefits. I'm not like I'm a lady. I'm a girly girl. I don't like burps or farts or fart jokes or pooping. Like, I don't poop stuff, you know. So I'm actually so embarrassed that I burped on the podcast and someone's gonna hear it. Cynthia, the editor, I would like her to be developed as a side character on Sports Bimbo because she fits the brand. She's like a hot babe, and she like watches fights sometimes, and I love her. Okay, Arkansas, home of the hillbillies. I love hillbilly shit. I fucking love hillbilly shit. I can't explain it to you. Real tree camo, love that. Men who drink Mountain Dew exclusively, that is so exotic to me. You have to consider, like, I am from the hood in Southern California. I'm from a major metropolitan city. I am a city girl through and through. I'm from LA. And as soon as I had a choice of my surroundings, I tried to create like a Paris Hilton white girl life for myself, because that was like what I saw on TV. That was like what was formative to me. So hillbilly shit is like not on the radar until, like, you know, for me, it's like the simple life. Like, we don't have Walmart around here, you know, we don't have Cracker Barrel. We don't have, and this probably isn't even like the most hillbilly example. I don't even know all this stuff because it's so exotic and foreign to me. What's the other one? Waffle House. I learned about that from wrestling. Like, we don't have shit like that to me. And people with like the accent, like, you know, I sound like Kim Kardashian or something, but an accent with a twang, that is, to me, that is cultural. That is culture. I grew up around a lot of culture, like, you know, Jamaicans, Ethiopians, Latinos, you know, whatever. But that hillbilly culture, I don't know that, you know, like the white people around here were just regular. So I love it. It's so different to me. I love Southern men. That is what I'm into at the moment. To me, it's new and it's different. Some of the ideals, pretty crazy, pretty out there. Obviously, we know that hillbillies exist and what that archetype is, and I've known that it's associated with like the South, but I really didn't know that it was actually attributed specifically to Arkansas until last night when I was Googling facts about Arkansas, because I'm in my Arkansas era right now. The hillbilly has been an enduring staple of American iconography, and Arkansas has been identified with the hillbilly more than any other state. So that is like real hillbilly. So when you're thinking about the most hillbilly, apparently you're thinking about Arkansas. I had to look up where it is in a map so I could really understand the geography, and that is real hillbilly stuff, real country stuff, guys. Bryce Mitchell is a southpaw. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. An Ultimate Fighter alumni. It's my favorite show. When I first started my career in combat sports, which was not that long ago, really like a couple years ago, before that, all my prior history was like in the wrestling world. But in the very beginning, I thought I was so good at fight predictions. Like, I would just decide who was going to win a fight, and I was right off top, like 100% accuracy. I slid down to like 90% accuracy. But I was deciding this stuff, you know what I mean? Like before I made this my career and like got so obsessed and hyper fixated, you know, I was more of a casual. So my criteria for like who was going to win fights was very arbitrary. Like, I was just making it up, and I was killing it with the accuracy. And it seems like the more that I learned, the more information I got about fighters, and I don't know what it is. Going to school made me gay, but the more education I had about fighting, my accuracy declined in my fight predictions. So I'm just not as good. I have no faith in myself anymore. I'd never know what's going to happen. I think I do. Like, you know, Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje in that last fight, I thought for sure Gaethje was going to win. I told one of my best friends to bet on it and I lost her money. I feel horrible about that. I'm done. My sports capping career over before it started. I don't even know how to bet like that, but I really thought that I was the next big thing in fight prediction. I'm still going to keep predicting fights, but I'm just saying I'm probably not going to be right. Who knows anymore? Let's talk about some upcoming fights that we have for the month of June. First off, June 1st, we have UFC 302 Makhachev versus Poirier. I do think that is a fight that will deliver. I am a big fan of both fighters. I'm going back and forth on this. Like, I hate being wrong. I hate to say that I think someone will win and then they don't. It really crushes my soul and keeps me up at night. Makhachev's an amazing fighter. I want Poirier to win. You know, if he didn't, I'd be happy for Makhachev also. If you listen to this podcast, if you're a long-time listener of this 6 or 7 week podcast, you will know that I love everyone and I want both teams to have fun. But for this one, I'm going to just say I'm going shine bright like a diamond. Sorry, I can't sing, but you feel me? The diamond, Dustin Poirier. We've talked about Strickland versus Costa, and in the last episode we did, it looked like that contract had not been signed yet, and that was concerning and sad for me. I know that Sean has been putting in a lot of work in his camp, and it would suck if Costa didn't sign that contract. I wanted to see that fight. I like both of those guys, but the latest update is that Costa did sign the contract. Woo! Go Costa! But I want Sean to have this win. I think he will have it. I feel like he's just been really focused. He's been on social media shooting rabbits and stuff. I've been scrolling past that on social media. I know I once claimed that I didn't follow him. I still don't follow him on Twitter. I cannot handle it. But I am now following him on both of my accounts, my personal and the Sports Bimbo page. I'm trying to be more of a supportive friend because he's always supportive to me. You know, there's a whole thing where we don't have the same beliefs, and I wasn't trying to claim him, but he knows that we don't have the same beliefs, and he's always nice to me, so I'm gonna just return the energy. I'm trying to be more supportive, but I couldn't support the rabbit. I respect it, but listen, the former vegan in me, I was a vegan for 8 years. The former vegan in me was screaming, I don't want to see that little rabbit. He was holding it by the 2 ears. He had just shot it. It is respectable. It's ethical. If you're a meat eater, technically, I guess that's what you're supposed to do. It's human. It's natural. It's responsible. From source to table, you know, you hunt your own food, you actually eat it, you don't waste. It's better for the environment, you know, it's better for the animals technically as a whole if you're not doing like, you know, mass corporate slaughterhouse farming. So I do respect it, but it's just hard for me to see it. I love animals and I love life, and I couldn't even hurt a fly, you know, I would cry. I could not do that. I could not be a hunter. There's no animal that I would feel okay with shooting to the dome. I will cry. It would turn me back into a vegan because I would cry, and even if I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that you gave your life for my meal, it would turn into a big thing. It would be so dramatic. I have to remain ignorant and just pretend like I don't know what I'm eating. The veganism, it wasn't good for my health, guys. I'd still be a vegan, but I honestly, despite what anybody says, it is so hard to hit your protein goal, especially at my size as a vegan. That shit is rough. And I was just very nutrient deficient. I was getting very anemic, and I'm way healthier now that I eat meat. But I do wish for the animals. I would love to like not contribute to their deaths at all. I just want to snuggle them all. Anyway, that is a big sidetrack. But yeah, Sean has been really getting shredded and really on his meal plan. The last picture of him that I saw, he looked like he had an 18-pack. I'm going to say he's focused. I don't know what Costa's doing besides steroids and making YouTube videos with Nina. Well, Sean also does that, so not to be cunty. But I think I'm gonna go Strickland on this one. I don't know if it's just because I like him more right now. It's all just a popularity contest to me, guys. But a fight that we have not talked a lot about from this card is the other middleweight fight, which is Cesar Almeida versus Roman Kopylov, which I believe will be a great fight. Cesar is someone really to watch. He does not have a long MMA record. He's had 5 professional MMA fights total. His record is 5-0-0, so he's on a 5-winning streak. 4 out of the 5 fights that he won were knockouts. So this is a powerful guy. He has a long history with kickboxing, Glory Kickboxing, where he fought our king Poatan 3 times. 2 of those were a loss, but one of them was a win. So he has 1 win over the king in kickboxing from the glory kickboxing days. He's a little bit older for a fighter. He's getting up there, 36 years old, put him out to pasture. Just kidding. But he has a lot of experience. He's been at it for quite a long time. And I've heard some people say, he's got a win against Alex Pereira, as if that is going to dictate a win for him now. But I don't know that that's necessarily the case, because that win is from 2013. That is quite a while ago. So while, yes, that is a lot of history under your belt, it's also age, wear and tear. It is very possible in a time span of that long for a fighter to progress a lot and get better and better with all that experience. But there's also the possibility that they decline. Like I said, the wear and tear in your body, injuries. We don't know, but I am like my hunch, my gut is pulling me towards Cesar continuing his winning streak on this one over Roman Kopylov, who is a Russian striker, slightly younger, only by 3 years. He's 33 years old. More of an MMA record professionally. He's 12-3-0. 11 of those wins are KOs though. So both of these guys, a lot of knockouts under their belt. In ratio, like comparison. Ooh, I'm getting mathy today. To the amount of fights and the amount of wins. There is a high percentage of KOs for both of them, respectively. I'm going to go with Cesar in this one, the kickboxer. The internet has been bullying me lately about my obsession with Shara Bullet. And I'm not sure why. Every time I make a video mentioning Shara Bullet, it just like pops off and people are being mean to me. 100% just relentlessly cruel. I don't know why it is so upsetting that I like this Dagestani one-eyed middleweight. I do. I love to watch him fight. I like to watch him train. I'm into it. He captured my attention. The one eye, it's fucking sick. This is like what I want from a fighter. I want you to be scary. I want you to look like a crazy pirate with only one eye. I want you to be out training in insane conditions. I like all that. Unless you're going to be really funny and hilarious. Those are the two, like a beast. Honestly, like that. I would like that type of man. Like, I would like to date a beastly man like that. Not Shara Bullet himself. I'm not interested in him. I'm just saying, I like that. I like the beastliness. But yeah, people have been being so mean to me about liking Shara Bullet. I was like, am I not valid? Like, am I weird? But it's actually making me like him more because I have to fight so much. I argue back. I do be arguing back in the comments. So if you want attention from me, a good way to get it is to fight with me in the Sports Bimbo comments, because I will fight back because it boosts my engagement. That is my baby. I'm at 1 million reach right now with my little account. Only has 3,000 followers, but it is reaching 1 million people a month, and that is sick to me. My personal account has over 60,000 people following me to see pictures of my ass, and the reach is not even half of that. But anyway, so I'd be arguing back in the comments to boost my engagement. And when I do argue back, I got to think of what my points are. I got to defend myself, and it just makes my belief in Shara Bullet that much stronger. So thank you guys. I'm Shara Bullet's #1 fan now. President of the Shara Bullet fan club. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for listening to the Sports Bimbo podcast, and thank you for tolerating my solo episode. I have no idea how it's going to come out, but I hope that it is at least listenable and that you get at least one chuckle or learn one fact from it. But anyway, thank you for listening to the Sports Bimbo podcast, brought to you by the Bespoke Network. You can find us on all socials at Sports Bimbo, including YouTube. And please, please, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. That is so important. That's what's going to keep me going. Bye for now.